Dear colleagues, we present to your attention a study of the topic comparison to the experience of using digital games in mathematics education in Ukraine and Israel. Throughout the world, during the previous decades, the process of digitalization in various spheres of society's life have developed rapidly. Education was not an exception. The impetus for the acceleration of digitalization of education was the forced transition to distance learning associated with the COVID-19 pandemic. The participants of the educational process were forced to massivity. Use various online resources such as distance learning systems, online platforms for studying, various academic disciplines, programs for conduction, video conference, electronic magazine at all. In addition, there have been an increased interest in educational digital games, in particular mathematical games, both on the part of the teachers and on the part of the of students. The gaming market is developing strongly, and we should use computer game in education, especially mathematics. By 2027, the number of video games users worldwide will reach 2,029 million. The largest segment is mobile games, which a market size of 164 billion USA dollars in 2025. However, so far there were not enough studies in which the aspirations and motivation of study regarding the use of digital games in the process of learning mathematics have been studied. Therefore, it really was worthwhile to conduct research on the use of digital mathematical games, interest, experience, and motivations of students in both Ukraine and other countries, particularly Israel. The purpose of the articles is to investigate how widespread the use of digital games in the process of teaching mathematics in Ukraine and Israel. To study the opinion of studies regarding the feasibility and possibilities of using digital games in teaching mathematics. Research methods and are presented on the slide. Questionnaires were used to conduct research and experimental work. The questionnaire consists of 3 parts. The first part of the questionnaire made it possible to collect demographic data of respondents, such as gender, age, educational institution, place of residence, and others. The second part of the survey was aimed at determining the level of students' awareness of viable mathematical education computer games. Demographic data, the respondents are present on the slide. Examining the responses of Ukrainian and Israeli school children to evaluation of digital games can offer valuable insights into the overall trends of digital game interest among school-aged children. An important question, the answer to which we were primarily interesting is how often children play digital games. How often children play digital games. So, school children who play computer games every day, 74% is almost twice as high as the number of Ukrainian school children, 41%. According to this indicator, at the same time, the number of Ukrainian school children playing several times a week, 32%, is twice as large as the number of Israel school children, almost 70%. Among Ukrainian school children, there are more people who used to play digital game, but now do not. Students' interest in mathematical digital games was determined using three questions. Have you ever played digital mathematical games? Have your math teachers used digital mathematical games in math lessons? Would you like computer math game to be used in school when learning mathematics? The result of the observations are present in Table 2. Note the majority of Ukrainian school children, almost 78%, played mathematical digital games. In general, the advantage is not significant. However, it was Israel teachers who used digital math games more often in mathematics lessons. There were almost twice as many Israel school children who give a positive answer to the question. Did you teachers use digital mathematical games in mathematics lessons? 32%, then Ukraine owns 17. The respondents answered to the question, would you like computer math games to be used in school? Confirming the majority of school children both in Ukraine and in Israel expressed an interest and desire for teachers to use mathematical digital games in mathematical lessons when learning mathematics. Analysis of questioning revealed that yes, it would be interesting was the most common response chosen by the school children. Almost half of the several school children answered this way in Ukraine, almost 15, in Israel 40. The answer yes, can try was also common 41% of Ukrainian school children and 35% of Israelis. It should be noted that in both countries almost the same share of school children, with a slight advantage in Israel of 13%, who believes that using digital games in mathematics lesson is inappropriate. From the last two questions in Table 2, additional information about the subject of the study of obtained here is the answer had a more personal quote. School children could choose several answer options from the present Table 2 and express their own opinion about the possibility of using digital math games in the process of teaching mathematics. In particular, some students indicate the digital resource that the teachers used in the lesson express their own wishes and their opinions about the theory. Moving into school children's perspective, regarding the feasibility of using digital mathematical games, the study employs comparative analysis to assess the potential of several mathematical games in the process of teaching mathematics. During the survey question, responses presented in Table 3. The largest choice among both Ukraine and Israel school children fell on the statement, I admit that using mathematical digital games can be useful for learning mathematics, and I would be interested to learn more about mathematical digital games and try playing them. Slight difference in the date is objective when choosing the statements. I know that there are cool mathematical digital games that give a good result in learning, but I have not had that they are used in lesson. I am supporter to traditional teaching of mathematics without the use of digital games. And I believe that digital games, even mathematical ones, are only entertainment for students and are worth of educational time. Traditional teaching methods are preferred more by Ukrainian school children in almost 10%, in contrast of Israel school children 2%. 2%. It's already mentioned only 17 of Ukrainian respondents answered that teachers used mathematical digital games in mathematics lesson, which is significantly less than correspondent in indicator among Israel school children, 32%. Students were also said to determine whether their teachers utilize digital mathematical games in the lessons, and if so, to identify the specific game employed. The most common answer among Ukrainian school children were I don't remember, Matifik, Kahoot. One respondent answered that their teachers used Minecraft in the geometry lesson. Israel school children also noted Israel school children also noted that teachers used Matifi, Kahoot, 10 Fingers, Math Playground, and others. The survey further included open-ended questions, prompting students to share their vision for incorporation digital game into mathematics lesson. The answer to the open question, both among Ukraine and among Israel school children, were quite diverse. Thus, the majority of respondents from both countries believe that the digital games are approached in mathematics lesson. If students sometimes play such games, they will have a greater desire to learn mathematics. I want digital games at school. It will make the lesson more interesting. Maybe the children will start to learn better. Digital games in math lesson is a very good idea. I would like to use math digital game in math lessons. They are interesting and also education. I think the learning with digital games will be better. Some students express more judgments. Sometimes they should be used to consider the application of mathematics theories and practice. I'm not a fan of digital math games. The field of digital gamification in education is constantly developing in accordance with the development of digital technologies. Therefore, the issue of using digital game in mathematics school education is relevant even at the present time. The main problems in the development and implementation of digital game in mathematics lesson at school remain and following: motivation and involvement, effectiveness of training with teacher support, systematic improvement of educational programs, integration with curriculum, evaluation of training, professional training of teachers, the risk of computer addiction, and others. And in conclusion, I would like to say that authors see the directions of solving possible problems related to the use of digital games in mathematics lesson at school. The introduction of course related to the use of digital computer games, development of methodological recommendations for future mathematics teachers and for mathematics teachers on the development and use of digital games, forming possible technical problems and others. Thank you for your attention.